Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, June 28th, and we have a very active pattern, busy pattern going on. We have a tremendous amount of heat that's going to be coming in over the weekend, and maybe even some record-setting heat as we expect temperatures to climb up at least in the low 90s for Friday, and then Saturday 94 to as high as 99 degrees. Somebody could touch 100 degrees here in the lower peninsula. And again, Sunday still very warm, even with the front coming through, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. In fact, much of next week, we could see temperatures in the mid 80s to around 90 with dew points in the 60s. It's going to be a very warm to hot week next week and humid. As far as yesterday, the highest temperature in Michigan, 83 degrees of all places at Sault Ste. Marie, and the cold spot, 50 degrees at Copper Harbor. We had a high here in Breckenridge of 72 with a low of 64. And look at the rainfall, 2.05 inches of rainfall here. In fact, it was pretty rainy across much of the area. And you can see on the time-lapse view from yesterday here, pretty breezy conditions with a very steady rain for about 3 to 5 hours where we accumulated that 2 inches of rain really in about an 8-hour period for the most part. So very, very wet day across much of the area. In fact, here are some of the rainfall totals. This was as of 8 o'clock last night. You can see 2.05 inches here. A number of locations picking up well over an inch in central Michigan into the thumb. 1.71, 1.64 inches over there at Marlette and Brown City. Again, very soggy day out there. The next slide we show is 90-degree days that we've had so far this year. And 5 already at Jasper, many areas with 4, so we've already picked up quite a few 90-degree days, and we're going to add to those here over the next week. I believe we'll see at least 3, maybe as many as 5 days above 90, but certainly a couple for sure, Friday, Saturday, and it's going to be very hot. So drink lots of liquids, stay in the air condition. If you got to work outside, take frequent breaks. You can see this morning the current temperature is in the 60s across much of the area. The cool spot 57 at Newaygo, the warm spot 64 at Blissfield. And now if we look at the dew points, you can see a lot of these now climbing into the low 60s, and we're going to see those really jump up today in the upper 60s, and we'll be having dew points well into the 70s for Friday. And then again, Saturday looks like the most oppressive day with dew points well into the 70s, maybe close to 80, and combined with mid to upper 90 temperatures, we're going to have heat indices around 105 to 110 degrees. So we got these low 60s. Anytime you start getting above 60, that's when it starts to get uncomfortable. But as the song from BTO says, you ain't seen nothing yet. And if we look at the satellite view this morning, you can see that front's moved off to the area. High pressure now taking over the Great Lakes, and that'll force all these storms to stay to our south. And then around the high pressure, these storms developing out in the plains will move to the northwest of us and stay away from Michigan here. We expect no rain here really over the next 72 hours, and that's going to mean a lot of heat with nearly full sunshine to go along with those very warm temperatures. Again, on radar, you can see that area, showers and thunderstorms that move through here now well off to the east, high pressure taking over, and that's going to continue to be the case right on through the weekend. Again, that high pressure system as this morning centered over lower Michigan. And these systems, again, are going to be forced to the north or forced to the south, and we're going to get a nice, strong south-southwest wind coming into the state. And you can see the high-pressure system only very slowly moves into Ohio by tomorrow, and then for Saturday, again, over in eastern Ohio. These systems here that are going to come crashing into this, or at least it's going to try to, is going to be shunted more to the northwest, so there is a question of how much rain we could get out of that system late Saturday night into Sunday night. Again, right now, the chances are about a 40% chance across the southern part of lower Michigan. I think the best chances of rain and thunderstorms will be across the upper peninsula and northern lower Michigan. Again, even though the system is trying to slide this way, it's going to weaken as it runs into high pressure, and the main systems are going to move off to the northwest. And that's why we don't expect any cold air behind this system, and that's why we'll be well into the 80s for all of next week as well, even behind this system. You can see the setup as we get into the weekend. Again, the precipitation mainly off to the northwest, high pressure system anchored off to our east and southeast. That's going to pump a lot of warm and humid air for about 3 straight days, and that's going to really make things very uncomfortable. As far as weather watch this morning, you can see much of lower Michigan, Indiana, northwest Ohio, northwestern or eastern Illinois, southern Wisconsin under a excessive heat watch. Areas in the purple are the excessive heat warnings, heat advisories for a large area of the Midwest, and again, that watch for excessive heat also in the Minneapolis area. So again, We expect that these heat advisories will spread right into northern Michigan and into southeast lower Michigan. You're not out of the woods or anything like that. They just haven't been issued yet. So again, a very hot weekend coming up with highs today climbing in the mid to upper 80s. Will be at least in the low 90s on Friday, maybe mid 90s, and then temperatures in the mid 90s to possibly near 100 degrees. You can see that heat index will be at least 105 to 110 plus, as we have dew points well into the 70s near 80. A slight break in the temperatures of maybe 5, 6, 7 degrees as we get into the beginning of the week, but still very warm conditions right on through next week. So it's going to be a very summer-like pattern coming up. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.